What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Natty Baps, NFL Championship Weekend Prediction Show. We have two fantastic matchups, both featuring the 1 and the 3 seeds of each respective conference. It's me by myself today. Shabazz is out here doing what he has to do, so obviously you guys know who he's picking. He's Ravens flock, whoop whoop, big trust, MVP, all that good stuff. We know who he's picking. But I'm going to go through each matchup and talk about the X factors for both teams, offensive and defensive X factors for every team. How can each team win? And then at the end, I'm going to give my prediction on what's going to happen. Before we begin, please, for us, like the video, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. And we only got like 3 more of these left. We got today, we got the recap on Tuesday. Prediction of we're probably not going to do next Wednesday. We might do like a season-long recap next Wednesday, and then obviously we got to predict the Super Bowl the week after. So, but before we begin, please like the video, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get right to, as you see on the ticker, the first game, AFC title game, Ravens hosting Kansas City. Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. There's a lot of stats that I can throw out that I will throw out throughout the course of the show for the Ravens. Mahomes, as you guys know, is my favorite quarterback. I have a Mahomes jersey in my closet. I would have wore it today, but I was like, you know what? Let me be neutral party today. Man, there's a lot I'm gonna say, and there's a lot that I have stored up. So let's get after it. Firstly, on the Ravens side, I have to go on Twitter to find it because I have it bookmarked. The Ravens have beaten 8 teams with winning records this year. The Texans twice. In those 8 wins, or that they've beaten 8 teams, 9 wins. In those 9 wins with teams versus winning records, they've won by 2 touchdowns. Let me say that again for those who didn't hear me. They have won 9 games over teams with winning records this year, including the playoffs, by more than 14 points. Don't believe me? Let's recap. They beat the Lions, who are in the NFC title game, by 32 points. They beat Seattle, who finished 9-8, by 34 points. They beat the Jaguars, who are 9-8, who are almost won the AFC South, by 16 points. They beat the Texans twice, week 1 and this past weekend, by 16 and 24 respectively. They beat Cleveland by 25. They beat Miami, who's 37 by 37. They beat the Bengals by 14, who finished 9-8. And last, the most impressive of all, Christmas Day, destroyed the Niners by 14. And the game wasn't even close. The score doesn't tell the domination of that game. So with all that said, the Ravens beat good teams and beat them badly. They win and cover a lot of the time. The Lamar Jackson doesn't win in the playoffs. That hopefully that monkey was lifted off his back, because in the first half was looking kind of shaky. He had great plays here and there, but the Ravens as a whole didn't look prepared. The defense did, but the offense didn't. In the second half, they locked in. Lamar had to curse them out real quick and had to lock them in. So the Ravens have everything going for them. But they face a Kansas City team this is their 6th straight AFC title game. This first time on the road in the AFC title game, but this is the 6th straight AFC title game appearance, which is insane to think about, because you got the Patriots, who always were in the AFC title game, but sometimes they got upset. The consistency of greatness of the Kansas City Chiefs offense, when you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, it's almost like it's guaranteed that they're being in the AFC title game. But something to keep in mind for Kansas City side. The teams, so the last 5 years, 4 years, if you count, not counting this year, the team that beat Josh Allen lost the week before, or the week after. Don't believe me? 2019, the Texans beat the Bills in the wild card round. This was Deshaun Watson. What happened? The Texans lost to Kansas City. 2020, the AFC title game where the Bills got smoked by Kansas City. They lost to Tampa in the Super Bowl. The 13-second Bills loss, obviously that's all recognizable. They lost to Cincinnati the week after. The Bengals beat the Bills last year in the divisional. What happened? They lose to Kansas City in the championship game. Kansas City just beat Buffalo. AFC title game at Buffalo, likelihood to lose. So I'm gonna go over the X factors for both teams. For Kansas City, the X factors are the following: Isaiah Pacheco, one of my favorite running backs in the game. He run and there's a joke on Twitter and TikTok that he reacted to people's things on Twitter about his running style. He runs like he bite people. He's a vicious runner. He's dealing with an ankle and toe injury, but obviously he's gonna play. His effectiveness on running the ball, keeping it in short, manageable second and third downs is gonna help Mahomes astronomical. Again, I didn't pick the usual suspects of Mahomes and MVS and Travis Kelce. I wanted to pick guys who are going to impact the game and make things easier or harder for Kansas City and or Buffalo. So I said Buffalo for Baltimore. So Isaiah Pacheco keeping the chains alive, keeping plays alive, run blocking and running the ball effectively. And obviously Chris Jones. The best way to beat quarterbacks is pressure. And if you can get pressure inside the pocket of Lamar Jackson without having him scramble and being able to escape the pocket and use his legs effectively, Chris Jones is the guy for that. He had like 10 and a half sacks as an interior defensive lineman, which is saying something because he's constantly getting hit with double teams constantly. So being able to affect the passing lanes for Lamar Jackson and also the rushing lanes for Lamar Jackson. There's Baltimore Ravens team has led the league in rushing. So having an interior presence like Chris Jones, being able to impact the running game and also the passing game, is he going to live up to his contract and make that money and make Baltimore pay? That's what you should be looking to see. And on the Baltimore side, we have Kyle Hamilton and Zay Flowers. Yes, I could have probably put Roquan Smith. I probably could have put Patrick Queen on the defensive side. I probably could have put Kyle Van Noy or any Marlon Humphrey, hopefully returning from the game. But Kyle Hamilton, firstly, Domer. Shout out to Notre Dame. But more importantly, his impact in terms of just being everywhere on the field is so important. And he's going to have to guard Travis Kelce. He's going to be the guy. Basically, they don't play a lot of man coverage. They play a lot of mixed man of zone. But Kyle Hamilton's presence of, hey, you cannot throw it to this guy. I'm not going to let you throw it to this guy. Kyle Hamilton's 6'4", 215. He can space all of the field. No matter where you throw it, he is going to be in the vicinity of it. Can Kyle Hamilton slow down Travis Kelce and any other passing lanes for like MVS or if Kadarius Toney gets active? Who knows what's going on? Also, I should have also part him. Mark Andrews is practicing. He was a full participant in practice today. Now, again, we record these shows on Wednesday, so we don't know the full injury report as of the day of the game. But look towards Mark Andrews officially coming off of injury reserve and playing in this game. I think that boosts the morale. Just the fact of him coming back is going to boost the morale for the Baltimore Ravens. But offensively, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers has had an amazing rookie season. He has been amazing in terms of that deep threat, that intermediate/deep threat for Lamar Jackson, who has the ability to take a screen pass or a drag route to the crib. So all that said, I have Kyle Hamilton and Zay Flowers as the two X factors on the Ravens side. And on the Kansas City side, I have Isaiah Pacheco and Chris Jones. But, hey, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Shabazz TV, Shabazz in the spot, you feel me? His Ravens, not my Ravens. I talked about the X factors for an objective viewer. I said Kyle Hamilton, Zay Flowers. I talked about the Chiefs as well as an objective player. So, talking-ish. I'm not going to say who I'm picking yet. I'm going to wait till we talk about both games, and I'm going to give my final prediction. But give your motivational talk, my friend.
What's good, y'all? I came a little late, had some business, I can't even stay long, you know what I'm saying? Got some other business to handle. But, fuck the Lions game. I don't care about that, you know what I'm saying? I see Natchez prediction. That's some fire shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm only here to talk about the Ravens. I'm leaving as soon as I finish this. I'm leaving. NFC, I got the Lions. It's especially if Debo don't play. I'm not trying to do the contingencies, the conditions or whatever. I think Brock Purdy's a fraud. Fraudulent activities is inbound, and I could be completely wrong. And on Tuesday, I'm like a foot in my mouth. But I'm rolling with the Lions. Fuck the color conspiracy. Let's go Lions. Get to Super Bowl. Now my Ravens. First off, 100% right. Kyle Hamilton is the biggest X factor in terms of the defense. He said it in the presser too. Like, I'll probably be the guy guarding Travis Kelce. And that's a tall task. He might not be as spry as he used to be, but that boy still can move a little bit. So for me, we gotta win. We gotta win. And on offense, the whole offense gotta step up. We can't afford to be having that slow start like we did against Houston. We can't afford it. Can't do it. Won't do it. We can't do it. Because we go out like that against the Chiefs, who can put up points. They've been inconsistent as hell all year, but they can put up points. We will lose the game. We're at home. It's the bank. We gotta defend the bank. I've been making memes and making fun of, we're gonna go to their crib and make a sandwich and put some anime, whatever. I've been making those kind of jokes all season, but they can't do that to us. They cannot do this to us. The only reason we've lost this season is by literally fumbling the bag ourselves. Teams don't beat us. We beat ourselves. Indianapolis. It was an ugly game. We made mistakes. Lamar kept fumbling off of sacks. And the defense kept freaking selling against the run. Pittsburgh. We had 8 drops. Lamar threw a pick in the end zone. A block punt. Opportunities that teams should not have had. We lost those games. And I'm not going to count the week 18 against Pittsburgh because Lamar didn't play that game. But then against Cleveland, he throws 2 picks. 1 for a pick 6. That's not good. He played San Fran, clean game. Miami, clean game. Detroit, clean game. Seattle, clean game. All the teams that we blown out was because he played clean. Barely made mistakes. Was locked in. That's it. That's all there is to it. Lamar's the best quarterback in the league this season. He's going to show the world why. I'm going to win 20 cash. Because Joseph, you're going to owe me that 20 cash. That's 1. 2, the Chiefs, if not now, it's going to be hard to beat them in a bit. This is the best opportunity we're going to get. And I said it weeks ago. I'm going to say it again. Every season is a winning season opportunity, right? The window is every season. As soon as March something starts until February. That's the window. Not this freaking, my windows every year I'm a starter. None of that. It's every year is a new year, a new opportunity to win a chip. Anybody can win a chip. This is our time. Marlon Humphrey practiced today. Mark Andrews practiced today. Mike Andrews is probably going to play this week. I don't want that to stunt the growth of Isaiah Likely, though. We can have some dual packages there. More opportunities to fuck around and make something happen. If Mark Andrews plays Lamar, I don't want you to just revert to your old ways and only targeting Andrews. Do what you've been doing without Andrews. Getting everybody to rock. Getting everybody 3 or 4 targets, 5 targets. And if there's one matchup we can exploit, abuse it until they fix it. I think Bateman is going to have a game. I think so. Zay Flowers probably gonna make a couple catches. Odell's gonna make a couple clutch first downs. But I think Bateman's the guy because they have L'Jarius Sneed and they have McDuffie. So whoever's the other guy on the other side has opportunity to eat. Whether it be Andrews, Likely, Bateman, Nelly, we could run the ball on anybody at will. Chris Jones is a beast. Lindenbaum is a beast too. So he's going to hold it down. He might not win all the matchups, but we got to win this. I'll be home watching it, sweating my ass off the whole time. Probably be playing 2K to distract me a little bit. And in the group chat, I need to win. This is the time. This is the season. We have the best defense in the league. We have a top 5 offense in the league. We have the MVP of the league. Everything is lining up for us to be on this run. Take the title from the champs. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. No matter who the hell comes out the NFC, we can beat them. We beat them already. Spanked both of them already. Now, granted, it's hard to beat a team twice. I know that. However, I don't care. We beat them before. We will beat them again. But to get to that dance, to get to that date, we got to take care of business on Sunday, 3 p.m. The game don't start at 4:30. The game don't start at 4 o'clock. The game starts at 3 o'clock. We can't start slow. We got to start fast. We got to score. The regular season, we had, I think us and San Francisco had the most opening drive touchdowns. Let's have that happen again. Let's get the bank rocking. Let's get the bank off the rip loud. I want to wear all black. Let's wear all black. I'm with it. Let's take care of business. Let's take the title of AFC champions so that they can prove that Lamar can get the shit done. Because first of all, I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift on my screen. This is no disrespect to Taylor Swift. This is more so for the NFL constantly pushing for her to be on our screens. Captain L'America. La MVP. You win this game, you go to a Super Bowl, you'll be basically Dan Marino. With MVPs in the Super Bowl appearance. This is the most important game of your career. You will step up. You will lock the fuck in. Everybody, whether it be Roquan and PQ. This is your last game, your last year as a Raven PQ, because we typically don't pay like linebackers. Have it with Judon, have it with Mosley. Like, we typically don't. But if this is your last time with us, make it count. Hamilton, your young boy, safety, all pro. My guy, Domer. Make those plays. Humphrey, Stevens, everybody. Rock Yassin, whoever, make the plays. There's a thing going on about the freaking ref fading the home teams. Don't give the refs a reason to beat us. We can only beat ourselves, gentlemen. So let's hold it down. Ravens flock. Let's go. And we'll see the Lions in the Super Bowl. And with that, I'm out of here. Also, before I dip, shout out to Jim Harbaugh being the coach of the Chargers. Shout out to that. I think that's going to be a great pairing. He'll definitely get that ship righted immediately. So look out for the Chargers next season. With that, I'll see you guys on Tuesday because I'm tired. I'll probably call you after this or talk to you tomorrow or whatever. But yo, I'm Shabazz. Now you're going to talk about the San Francisco Lions. Peace.
Damn, well said, Shabazz. Well said, Shabazz. Obviously, we're talking about my predictions at the very end. But yeah, well said. He gave the ball. He gave everything that needed to be said, and we move on to the NFC title game. Lions at Niners. Niners are favored by 7. 7. It's crazy to say that. Favored by 7 points. And I know the Wi-Fi starting to wild on me and the stream is starting to mess up. So pretty sure you can still hear me. Hopefully you can. I'm gonna say this. On paper, and Colin Cowherd said this today, and I was like, I said it yesterday jokingly. Who can go band for band with Detroit? And I said it jokingly. But think about it. Quarterback, Goff has playoff experience. He's been to Super Bowl, and yes, controversially, of course, but he's been to a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy, 3-1 as a starter in the playoffs, pretty good. Band for band. Running back, yes, Christian McCaffrey is the best running back. But as a tandem, as a duo, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are awesome as running backs. Then we got receivers, and Brandon Ayuk was second-team All-Pro, but Amon-Ra St. Brown was first-team All-Pro. You got George Kittle, and then you got the tight ends. George Kittle, first-team All-Pro, Samuel Porter, second-team All-Pro. Then you got offensive line. Trent Williams is a dog himself, but Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell are also fantastic offensive lines as well. And then this is where, offensively speaking, they can go band for band with each other. Playmaker for playmaker. But defensively, that's where it lies. You got Aiden Hutchinson, who can probably match. He's a Nick Bosa light, but then that's about it. On the defensive side, you just got a bunch of B- guys who try to play above their own. And it usually works most of the time, but however, they can get got. They let Baker Mayfield throw for 300 yards. They let Matt Stafford throw for 300 yards. They let Lamar Jackson cook them, just strictly passing the ball. Band for band. Can they go band for band with Detroit? I'm on San Francisco, rather. And on San Francisco's side, obviously, you have to worry about, is Brock Purdy going to turn into a pumpkin? As Shabazz said, fraudulent activities. Or is it going to be possible for Brock Purdy not to fumble the bag? The first 3 quarters last week, it was wet weather, it was nerves, who knows what was going to happen, but at some point, they were down 24-17. They were down by 7 points, and Kyle Shanahan just got his first win when he was down 7 points going into the fourth quarter. He was 0-30 at that time. So all that to be said, you got Lions who are hungry, figuratively and metaphorically hungry. This is the first time they've never been to a Super Bowl. This is the first time they ever got to an NFC title game since 1991. Again, me and Shabazz were born in 97, to put that in perspective. So 6 years before we was even thought of, that's the last time the Lions have been in this position. San Francisco was in this position last year, the year before that, the year before that. But what happened? The quarterback got hurt or the quarterback did not perform. I'm going to go over the X factors for both teams. Comment who else you think is going to be great. For Detroit, I got Jahmyr Gibbs and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Yes, of course. I could have put Amon-Ra St. Brown, could have put Jared Goff, of course. But I'm trying to pick, again, guys who are going to impact the game to make things easier for Jared Goff or make things harder for the San Francisco defense. Jahmyr Gibbs is a monster. And I put him as opposed to David Montgomery because Aaron Jones ran for $1.08 last week, 6 yards a carry. The Lions want to run the ball. They want to be able to punch you in the mouth, bite kneecaps, all that extra like braggadocious stuff. But Jahmyr Gibbs is a beast. Similar, we talked about it last night with me and Shabazz here, which recapped the weeks. The Bijan Robinson comparison is true. Jahmyr Gibbs was underutilized to start this season, and they lost games because he wasn't utilized. They kept force feeding David Montgomery, but then David Montgomery gets hurt with the hip, and then all of a sudden they have to start using Jahmyr Gibbs more, and they're like, "Oh, we should have been using him the whole time." Now they have a thunder and lightning combination that's fierce and what's awesome. And with C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the back end with the secondary, that's the issue with Detroit. Their secondary is gettable. Like, oof, it's pretty bad. They have a fantastic pass rush, and Brian Branch from Bama is awesome. But other than that, they don't really have guys who can cover guys. CJ Gardner-Johnson, as much trash talking as he does, he's really good at covering guys, especially out the nickel. And what player for the Niners runs out of nickel or out the slot more than anybody? Debo and Brandon Ayuk. So being able to cover those guys, being able to stop and slow down those guys is going to help tremendously. Now, of course, you list out the Avengers for the Niners, and you got Debo, and you got Ayuk, you got Kittle, you have Christian McCaffrey. But that little bit of pressure, that little bit of presence of having CJ Gardner-Johnson out there can help. I'm not saying it's going to bend a lot. That defense is going to bend a lot. But they're not going to break because they have Aiden Hutchinson. But again, what's the best way to help a pass rush is good coverage. And he is one of the best cover nickel corners the league has this season. And on the Niners side, my two X factors are Brock Purdy and Chase Young. Of course, why would I put the quarterback as the X factor? This team and most teams follow the same suit. They go where their quarterback goes. If their quarterback's performing well, then they were going to perform well. But last week was concerning. They were concerning. Brock Purdy, and for all intents and purposes, was ass for 3 quarters. Then, of course, fourth quarter, he comes on a little bit. But Christian McCaffrey is the MVP of that team. All they say for Brock Purdy, hey, don't fuck it up. They say that. I don't know if they say that to his face. I don't know if everyone in the locker room is unspoken. But us fans and media all agree that Brock Purdy is not a bad quarterback. He's not. He's not the greatest quarterback of all time. And that's the kind of sweet spot that people need to start saying, because they're saying, oh, he's either the worst quarterback or not good, or he's the greatest of all time. And that's not where he is. He's a solid quarterback. He's great. He's great. But he's not the greatest. He's not top 10. He had a great statistical season, yes, but he's not the guy. He's not a difference maker, as Cam Newton said. So I put him as my X factor for simple reasons. You cannot mess this game up. You can't. You have the better defense. You have a great running back. You have a band-for-band offensive line. You have Ayuk, second-team All-Pro. You have Kittle, first-team All-Pro. You have Debo, who's 50-50, who's probably going to play it regardless. You can't just have you mess this up. Now, Shabazz, he's dealing with stuff, but he texted me on the side. His X factor is Brandon Ayuk, which we got to give Shabazz credit, and I got to play the clip for him because
vindication.
The beginning of the season, before the season started, Shabazz had said that Brandon Ayuk is better than Debo, and he's a true number 1 receiver. I laughed at him. I said, what, are you crazy? And lo and behold, Brandon Ayuk has been a monster this year. He earned second-team All-Pro honors because he was a monster. And as the quote from Shabazz, if Debo does not play, he got to show the world why he's that guy. And well said. And for the Lions, his is Penei Sewell. He has to be able to guard and block Nick Bosa, which, again, easier said than done. But I also say Chase Young is an X factor as well. Because, as I said yesterday, where has he been? What has he done? Has he performed well up to that trade value of getting him in the midseason? We said, oh, we got the Ohio State boys back together. Chase Young and Nick Bosa, we about to be here. They outside. And all of a sudden, he hasn't done anything. They didn't really get sacks last week against the Packers. Now, the Packers have a great pass blocking line. And so do Detroit. Can he start because we know Nick Bosa is going to be in the backfield. We know Nick Bosa is going to get all the attention. Can Chase Young take advantage of that and help take the pressure off Nick Bosa? Again, purely objectivity here. Has Chase Young performed well for his contract or for his trade value? No. The Niners are a good team regardless. They are. Can he help with that defense? They have Fred Warner. They have Dre Greenlaw. They have I don't know how to say his name, but Troy Polamalu's like light. They have Hufunga. They have Nick Bosa. They have not Jimmy Ward, somebody else. They have guys. Band for band defensively, they go hard like the Ravens do, band for band. But offensively, and this is where my pick comes in. On the AFC side, I'm going Baltimore. I think Baltimore is the most complete team. I think Baltimore is the most physical team. I think they can run the ball on anybody, as Shabazz said. And also another X factor is Dalvin Cook emergence. He only had like 25, 30 yards last week. But again, those were impactful runs, getting first downs, chewing the clock, keeping Mahomes off the sidelines, making him press with the bad receivers who already drop balls consistently, and the bank having the most false starts and delay of games of any stadium this season. So all that saying, I'm going to say I don't think they blow them out, but I would not be shocked. I think Baltimore wins by a touchdown, by maybe more than a touchdown. But I'm going to be respectful for Mahomes. I say Ravens win, let's just call it 27-20. I think 27-20 is an accurate score, but I also think that the Ravens have this could be a blowout waiting to happen. This can be a blowout waiting to happen. And on the Lions side, Lions, Niners. Man, I said all I wanted to say in terms of, hey, Brock Purdy can't fuck it up. Hey, you got Ayuk, show him that you're the guy. You got Kittle, you got McCaffrey, you got Fred Warner, you got Drake Greenlaw. You have all these guys. But at the end of the day, I don't trust Brock Purdy. At the end of the day, yes, do I trust Jared Goff? Not as much. But this Lions team is special. And I said it yesterday, joking, but I'm being as serious as possible this time. Band for band. Can the Niners, because we know the Lions are going to score. We know the Lions are going to score. Can the Niners go band for band? Can they go score for score? No, I don't think so. I think, yes, it's Lions on the road, and that definitely is a concern. I'm picking the Lions to cover, straight up. And I'm picking them to win. I think it's going to be Ravens versus Lions in the Super Bowl. The Lions story is amazing. And yes, they exceeded expectations. There have been no doubts that Dan Campbell is the coach for this team. There's no doubts that Jared Goff is the quarterback for the future of this team. I think they're riding high. And I said band for band because Kyle Shanahan got his first win when his team was trailing 7 points into the fourth quarter. I said the last week's game script happened where the Bucs started going. They were band for band. It was 17-17. And then the Lions scored. It was 24-17. Then they don't score. Then the Bucs don't score. Then the Lions score again. It's 31-17. If they wanted to, they could have kept going. They wanted to, they could have kept scoring. And without Debo, I'm not doing contingencies or not. With or without Debo, I'm going with Detroit. I did make a bet that the Niners would lose to the Ravens in the Super Bowl. So either way, I'm golden. But for the purposes of this show and the purposes of my prediction, I'm going Ravens, Lions to meet each other in the Super Bowl. That might be a hot take for the Lions part, but hey, I think 7 points is way too much. So my formal picks, I'm picking the Ravens to cover, set a 3.5, and I'm picking the Niners. I'm picking the Lions to cover the 7 points. I think that leads in the Lions win for sure. So I'm betting Lions money line and Ravens money line, but I'm also going to bet the spreads as well. Man, it's weird talking about two games with so much importance. Now, again, I would talk about all the things, the injury reports and all that stuff, but we do these shows on Wednesday. So things can happen, things can change. Thank you guys for always tuning in for us, 8:30, being there and being here. You feel me? Is there a world in which it's Kansas City Niners? Probably, because you got the greatest quarterback that I've seen in Mahomes, and you got the Niners team that defensively and offensively can click. If the Niners go band for band, they deserve to be in it. But the Lions can run the ball. And that's something the Niners have trouble stopping. They can't stop the run. So as all great players I listed out in, the Lions can run the ball against anybody, just like Baltimore. And what did the Baltimore Ravens do? They went to I'm not gonna say the whole bit, but they went to San Francisco. They put on their robe, they ate their cereal, put on their anime Crunchyroll, and watched on their Crunchyroll. That's what the Ravens did to the Niners. I think the Lions can do the same exact thing. So yeah, Ravens, Lions, those are my picks. Thank you guys for joining. It's been real. It's been real. It's been a great season. We're going to talk about sentimental stuff. We recap the amazing weekend ahead of us on Tuesday, 8:30. Be there. EST, be there or be there. Again, reminders, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. For Shabazz, I'm Natty Baps. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Live your life with football, family, faith, food, football, and also
Vinda